Oh, hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It is just me today. If you happen to follow us on Instagram, you might have seen that on Monday, my sweet husband had a little outpatient procedure done on his back. He actually had a lipoma that was removed that was a pretty decent size. So he has like a 2-inch incision on his spine. So he is inside resting. He's going to be doing that clearly for a little bit, probably a solid week of rest is what he's going to need. So it's just me on the farm taking care of everything right now, which I'm okay with. You know, this last week has been pretty crazy. I have not been home really much at all. With our apothecary business, I do have to go into our city, which is Orlando, pretty regularly, at least twice a month. Every other week I try. We have multiple partner locations that sell our products there, and I have to keep them restocked. We also go in to do a farmer's market once a week on Sundays. And really, I've been a caretaker for so many right now, which as an herbalist and a farmer, it's something that clearly comes easily to me. But this is the first time in my life that I've been doing it so regularly. So it's something that I'm still learning how to do. But between my mom and animals and now my sweet husband needing some caretaking, that's kind of been a big role that I've been playing. So I've been gone a lot of days. Our cats went to the vet on Monday morning before Cesar went in for surgery, and then his sweet mother, my amazing mother-in-law, and my father-in-law came out to be with him yesterday to make sure he did not get up and do anything, while I went back into town to be with my mom for some final doctor's appointments. She does start radiation tomorrow. She's doing so well. So I always appreciate the sweet messages I get from y'all on our Instagram account. I do have that linked below. If you are interested in following our Instagram account, you will get more sneak peeks of just kind of what's going on every day on the farm. I'm pretty active, so there's definitely regular content that y'all can follow and follow us on our journey. So a lot's gone on in the last week since our last video. We started all of our seeds, which not all of our seeds, all of our starter seeds. Of course, a good chunk goes straight into the ground, so those haven't been started. But it's been really cool to watch these babies pop up every day to say hello. It's been so much fun. So I definitely want to show you guys our little setup that we have going on right now as our first year of growing like a big spring garden. And then we also added 6 chickens to our flock in this last week, which was pretty awesome. We were gifted all of them. None of them are the breed that we had really chosen to have, but we were more than welcome to take on other people's chickens that they could no longer care for whatever reason. And so I wanted to share with you guys the process that we went through of adding those chickens to our flock, because as you know, this is our first time doing all of this. So we had no idea really what we were doing. Luckily, Cesar has done so much research, if you can call it that, but we spent years before we moved out here following other farmers on YouTube and their journeys and watching their dreams come true. And what Cesar had seen through a lot of that, he implemented, and it worked out really well. So if you are in a position where you are trying to add birds into your flock, or chickens or ducks or whatever, this really worked well. We also have a rooster, which was a whole nother concern because we added a rooster. So we added 3 bantam hens and 1 bantam rooster, which, you guys, they're so little, especially next to our birds, and they're so cute. And the little rooster is just adorable. I mean, he is a fraction of the size of our rooster. And then we added 2 old ladies, which I don't really know their breeds. We were told they weren't laying anymore and asked if we wanted them. So initially we thought, okay, we'll process them. We'll use them as a learning experience on how to process chickens, and then we'll put them in the freezer. Old hens are not the type of bird that you're going to roast in the oven and have this really tender meat. They are birds that you would stew for a long time, like 6 hours on the stove, or even you could use a pressure cooker and to get their meat tender, but it's something you would want to use in like a soup or a stew or something of that nature. And of course you can use the bones to make bone broth. So, however, with those, I do want to say with our old ladies, we're calling them, we are giving them a chance to make sure that they are done, in fact, with laying. But we haven't seen them lay yet. We feel like we can tell because our girls are still laying. While they're getting bigger every day, they are still smaller than what they would lay. So we figure if we walk in to a huge egg one day, then we know that they are laying, but that hasn't happened yet. And then our little bantams are laying, of course, little eggs, and they're little white eggs. They're so cute. But to be honest, they've only laid 2 eggs since they got here, which was last Friday. Today is Wednesday, so it's almost been a week. It's been about 5 days. And we've only gotten 2 eggs from them, and there's 3 layers. So I'm not super impressed on that end. But here's what we did. So we got them at 2 separate times within 48 hours. So it was literally Friday. We got the bantams at about 3 o'clock on Friday, and then we were given the old ladies around the middle of the day on Saturday, I think around like noon or 1 o'clock. And what we did, they were brought to us, and they were brought to us in crates. You can use dog crates. You can use, of course, boxes with holes to move your chickens around, but these were given to us in dog crates, which worked really well because they're visible. So we took the dog crate, and of course in transit, they had no food and they had no water. So the first thing we did was give them water and feed as soon as they got here. And then we took the dog crate with them still inside and put them in our pasture with our chickens. So they could get to know each other, but they were still protected through that dog crate. And we let them stay in there for quite a few hours, pretty much until the sun was going down and it was time for them to go up. And then once our chickens went up for the night, we closed their door and we brought the dog crate with the new chickens in to the house and opened the door. And then we just left. And, of course, new to this, we were gazing in like, what's going to happen? I had a big concern when it comes to roosters. Like, is it going to be a fight to the death, or is it just going to be a fight to see who's boss? And when one rooster is so much smaller than the other, it's not a fair fight either way. But we didn't hear much of anything happening all night. We let them out in the morning, and Roo, our rooster, followed the little rooster around, kind of pecking at him some. There was definitely a little bloodshed. We saw it on Rooster's beak and around his mouth. He definitely made the new rooster bleed a little, which, as a bird mom, I guess you could say, like, you're sad. You're like, no, don't hurt him. But you have to just let them do what they're gonna do, right? So there was some fighting. And clearly the new rooster lost the war, or the battle, or whatever you could say, for dominancy. Roo won, and he is still the Roo of the roost. But they've all learned to get along so well. The little bitty rooster has tried to mount our big hens. I don't think it really works. He's just too small. I don't think he can get his parts near theirs. I have not seen our rooster try to mount the small little bantams. I mean, I think they would get lost underneath him. They're so small. But it all worked perfectly. So then on Saturday, it was actually Cesar and I's 5-year wedding anniversary. So we did go out to celebrate, and his dad and his dad's best friend are who brought the old ladies out. They were his dad's best friend's birds. And they just put them in, what we said, put the crate in, give them food, give them water, and then put them in with ours. And that's what they did. So when we got home, they were in there. And then when the sun set and everyone went in, we let them out, and that was that. And they've lived just really well together. No one died, which I was worried about. So I think that was extremely successful and a really good method of how to how to bring new birds into your pack. So I wanted to share that for anyone who is doing this for the first time. That method really worked well for us, and I think it's something that we'll continue to do as we add new birds in. You always want to be careful though with babies. It's a little different when you're talking about chicks. The big birds will kill your chicks. So there's a whole different method involved in adding like chicks and babies in. But for adding in grown birds with your other grown birds, I think that method works really well. But I want to take you guys to see all of my spring garden plant babies because I'm so excited about them. It's been a fun experience to plant this many seeds. It really has. And every day, multiple times a day, I go out and I check on them and see what else has popped up, and so much has popped up. The grow lights are working really well. We have them on a timer. It's just really been a fun setup. But aside from that, what I'm doing today is I'm actually replanting a lot of my indoor plants, and upplanting them. You know, you buy these cute little indoor plants and eventually you'll notice they start to like get sad and they're just not doing as well as they were before. And that's honestly because they're done in that size pot and they need a new pot. And then I'm also fertilizing a lot of our plants. So we have two different methods. Well, we've only always had one method of fertilizing, but we were gifted some beautiful liquid fertilizer from Grounding Roots Juice Bar. We mentioned them in our last video. They gave us a bunch of compost, but outside of their shop, how they make their compost is with one of those bins that turns, like a big barrel that you turn, and they collect the liquid that seeps out of the bottom, and they gifted that to me as well. So that's a new compost I'm going to be trying on a lot of my plants. But aside from that, we do have a worm cafe, and that's something we'll explain in detail more. If you're interested in learning more about a worm cafe, please let me know in the comments below, and we'd be happy to make a whole video on worm cafes and how they work, because we've had our worm cafe since we were in the city. You don't need much space for it. It doesn't smell. It's an amazing way to get really good compost for your garden and for your plants, indoor, outdoor, whatever it may be. So I use the worm tea is what it's called, and I've been going around and fertilizing everything. My in-laws just left, and we're just kind of enjoying some time. Cesar's inside resting, and I'm just out here kind of playing, I like to call it. But yeah, so let's go check out what's going on inside. All right, guys, so don't judge the mess of this room. This is my apothecary for our other business. It also substitutes as a guest room, and all of this is everything left over from using the commercial kitchen last week to make all of our products, which our shelves are so empty right now. But that's okay. We're having a raw material shortage, so that's been a whole other thing. But look, this is our grow station. Isn't it so simple and so cute? And can you believe that's 360 seeds? It looks so empty. I am going to be adding more to this. I'm playing around with actually growing house plants, and we have a whole bunch of medicinal seeds on the way for this business, so I can stop buying other people's herbs and I can use my own. But we were given these. It was a free offer up thing that I sent Sister Cessor to go pick up, and they just worked out so well. And these grow lights hang off the end, but I don't mind at all. We decided on this room because it is temperature controlled. So we do have an air conditioning unit in here, so we could control the temperature, which is really important to us because we don't have a greenhouse yet. But you guys, look at what's happening here. There's so many babies. And every day there's more. I feel like I see more already than I saw this morning. Oh my goodness. It is so exciting. So let's start here. This is a Texas cream pea. And then it looks like we have a teeny tiny baby right there, which is a bell pepper. And then those are more bell peppers. So those are different types of bell peppers. Here we have big beefsteak tomatoes. I don't see any, oh, nope, I lied. There is one popping up. This is our plum tomatoes. Oh, nope, that's a plum tomato as well. So definitely more of those. A bunch of sun gold tomatoes popping up. And, oh, I've been waiting for these. That is the indigo cherry drop tomato. And then the last ones are the green zebra, which I've been super excited. So literally one of all of our tomatoes are now popping up, which is crazy. Over here, I mostly just have lemon balm, I believe. I don't see much of anything else. That is not entirely true. What is this? Oh, this is spilanthes. So these are more of my herbs. And then up here is just going crazy. I have no Malabar spinach, which is this first row, but I do have butter crunch lettuce. I have freckle lettuce. I have Swiss chard. I have red Russian kale. I have, I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, lacinato kale. I have mustard greens, collard greens, and at the very end are snow peas. So goodness gracious, you guys, so much food is growing right here. And then over here, no watermelon, no cantaloupe, and no pickling cucumbers, which is interesting. But I've got all of these cucumbers. Cucumber Ashley is their name. And then I have some nasturtiums popping up, and I have a bunch of marigolds. So, you guys, this is just... It's a dream come true, you guys. I am literally living my lifetime dream of being a farmer and growing food and raising livestock. So I just feel unbelievably blessed every single day. I'm so grateful. I know I talked about this some in the New Year's video that we put out when I was really just struggling with sadness and depression with everything that was going on in the world. I wondered, how could I be living my dream and still sad? And you know, that happens. But then other days I'm living my dream and I'm so happy. And today's one of those days. Like, I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so grateful. And I can't wait to put all this food in the ground and see what happens. Even though as of today, it's still sand. We hear compost is on the way, so fingers crossed for that. Please, it's silly to say keep us in your prayers for compost, but guys, we kind of need it. So we love you guys. Thank you always for supporting us. If you are loving what you're seeing, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. It's how we continue to grow this community, which is my goal and my dream of this year, is to grow a beautiful community that we can inspire each other to grow food and to raise livestock and to just live a sustainable lifestyle. So, bye guys.